Hey guys, in this video I want to go over some of the main differences between App Studio and Dev Studio. So let's go to Dev Studio. One of the main things that you may notice here in Dev Studio is that we have some similarities. For instance, you can see here that we have a section for case types and another section for data types. If we open case types, we are going to be seeing something very similar to what we had in App Studio. Here we can see our case types, and if we click on a case type, we are going to be opening the that case type landing page. And it's pretty much the same as App Studio. For data types, it's a bit different, but it's very similar. So here we have our two data types, hotel and room. This number represents the data pages that we have for that data type. And if we want to see the records of a data type, we can click this database icon. Here we can see the records that we saved for this data type. If we expand any of our data types, we can actually see the names of the data pages that we have. So we have the three default data pages for each one of these. We have the data page that only retrieves one record. We have a data page that retrieves multiple records, and we have our savable data page. Now, the highlight of Dev Studio, I think, is the App Explorer. Here we can see the classes and the rules that we are working with. So this is our work class or our work layer. Here we can navigate to different classes in our project. So for example, if I go one layer back, we can see here that we have our work class and we have also our data class. So we can navigate to different classes over here or different layers. I believe there are two main classes that we need to pay attention to. So the first class is the work class. And in our work class, we have all of our case types. For example, we only have one case type here. So if we expand this reservation class, we can see that we have different types of categories. For example, we have the data model category, which also has its own categories. And inside of this, we can see that we have some rules. For example, we have some property rules. We have here our check-in, check-out dates. We have the hotel name, the hotel page, and all of the properties associated with our reservation class. The other class or layer is the data layer. Here we have the data types that we have created. For example, the hotel data type. In our hotel data type, we can see that in properties, we have the city, the name, and the state property. And we can also see that in data pages, we have the data pages for the hotel. As you can see, the App Explorer is really useful for working with all of these rules. And yes, in Pega, everything is a rule. We have different types of rules. We have data pages rules, we have property rules, we have data transform rules. Everything in Pega is a rule. Everything that makes up an application in Pega is a rule. So let me go back to my work layer. So I can do it by writing the hyphen and work, or I could also remove everything from here and just press the key enter. And by default, I will go to the work layer. In App Explorer, we can pin classes for easy access. As I mentioned previously, the data layer or the data class is one of the main classes that we use frequently. So I'm going to pin the data class over here. So I'm going to open our data class or our data layer, and I'm going to click here in this pin icon. So now we have our data layer here, and we can go back to the work layer. And now here we can work on both our data layer and our work layer. I'm also going to configure a few other things. For example, I want this hotel booking application to be the default application each time that I open Pega. For this, I'm going to go to my operator down here. If you have many applications, you can select which application is the one that you want to open each time that you open Pega. So in my case, I want it to be the hotel booking application. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to click Save. You can also configure which studio is the one that is going to be opened each time that you open that application. For this, I am going to click on this target icon. And over here, I want the studio to be always the dev studio. So I'm going to click on developer. PX Express is the app studio. Once again, I'm going to click save. So now each time that I open Pega, I will land in the hotel booking application in Dev Studio. I'm going to close all of these rules. So now I want to explore a few rules. So I'm going to open reservation, data model, property, and I want to view some of the rules that we are no longer using. For example, the room rate is one of those rules that we are no longer using. So I'm going to open it. And just as a reminder, we are no longer using this room rate rule or property because we have a room page which has that rate. So this one is no longer in use because a room page has the rate that we need. So here we can see that we have a room rate property. You can see here that this room rate property belongs to this class, HBA booking work reservation, which is exactly this class. This rule has an ID, which is room rate, and this rule belongs to a rule set, which is called hotel booking, and the version is 111. A rule set is composed of many different rules. So if I open this rule set, we are going to see many rules that we have created, and they were created automatically in that rule set. And the main purpose of a rule set is version control. So here we have this rule set, and we have 85 rules here. So let me go back to the room rate property. What I want to do is to delete the properties that are no longer in use. For example, this one. And to do this, we just have to click the delete button, and it will ask us for a reason for deletion. So now we got this error, and this error tells us that this property is being used in a declare expression. So let me open the declare expression. I'm going to delete this declare expression. If we made a mistake, we can restore this deletion. But for now, I'm going to delete everything that we don't need. Another thing that I don't need is this decision table. So let's go over there and delete it. Now let's try to delete our property again. So now if I refresh the App Explorer and open the properties, our room rate property is no longer here. I'm going to also delete the room type because of the same reason. Now I'm going to refresh this property. We will see that we will have less rules now that we have deleted some. Now, what I want to do moving forward in each video is to create a new version for this application. So in case you want to download this application in the current state of that video, you will be able to do so. So to log this rule set, I'm going to click here on log and save. The password is going to be rules. And I'm going to create a new rule set on top of this one. So all of the changes will take place in that new rule set. So let me save this. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you.